taking names down. I don't have to say how. A brand new start, I'm on the rise, flying higher, 'cause I got the fire that burns in my heart and in my eyes. Every time I fall again, I rise up, rise up. 'Cause the haters can't destroy what I love, I love. Nobody can take it away from me, from me. I know I can make it okay. They'll see, they'll see. 'Cause I'm fighting through the night to the other side. Alright, alright, I got no apologies. I'm unstoppable. You came on strong, I went alone. You turned me on. I fell too hard, and that's my crime. This undertow of hot and cold is hard to hold. I don't like when you waste my time. Don't keep me hanging on by a thread. Ain't got no tears left to shed. I see your colors start to show. You cannot call it love if it's not. You don't know what you got. I'll be okay.
Okay, I have no idea if I'm the only one here or not, but we are gonna get started. Because getting started is important. Let me, first of all, stop the music. Spotify is actually cooperating. For once, it's cooperating on stream. And watch, now I said that, I'm gonna completely and entirely jinx it. But it's cooperating. So, first things first on the to-do list is a little bit of a reorganization of what I talked about at the end of last time. Also, pretty much in between streams, the only thing I did was grab the quartz. Or sorry, I guess that's the SAM, and then the quartz from the quartz in the SAM train. And then I also harvested a bunch of slugs, and we'll get to the slugs here in a minute. And then I also did a little bit of blueprint work. And by a little bit of blueprint work, I literally mean a little bit. Like I did this manufacturer blueprint, a constructor blueprint, which is pretty nice, because it's 8 constructors with perfect splitting and perfect merging, which is nice. And then this assembler, which is also perfect splitting and perfect merging. And we're going to use those in a little bit. But first things first, I did spaghetti. It's great. So the space elevator parts are the modular engine, which are pretty cheap overall. It's motors, rubber, and smart plating. So, you know, pretty cheap overall. Not that bad in the slightest, especially when we SommerSloop it, we get 2, so it's a 1-to-1 instead of a 2-to-1, and then rubber's like a 7.5-to-1, but you get the point. And then adaptive control units are a lot more expensive. Circuit boards are expensive, heavy modular frames are expensive, computers are expensive, and we're already making automated wiring. So what I did was I siphoned computers off of the computer production line. This will only take less than half. It takes 2 per minute. We're making 5 per minute, so that's fine. And then over here, the heavy modular frames, we're making, 5.625. And I think it actually takes less than that. Less computers, so 1. So we're fine there. Circuit boards, we're only making 7.5 per minute, so 5 is a little bit less, and you can even see it moving up there. So, yeah, it's a little... That's going to be the bottleneck here, but we only need 100 of these. And then automated wiring, we are making it 5 per minute at the moment. Smart plating, we're making it 10 per minute at the moment, so this is actually a little overkill. And then motors, we're making it 5 per minute down the stairs, and I just siphoned all of that. So, in go the things, the old space elevator parts, and the old space elevator parts, therefore, become new space elevator parts instead. It's nice. And then, of course, we're gonna have just the littlest bit of spaghetti to get them over to the space elevator itself. Just a little bit. Because this is all temporary. We don't actually care about having this forever. So, this is temporary. I'll end up making, when it comes to like the next layer of space elevator parts that require these as input, I'll end up making a dedicated setup for these. But for now, this is what we're gonna have. And we're almost there on the modular engines and the adaptive control units. Apparently it's a 60-second craft time for both. So there they go! We get 2 for the price of 1, which is absolutely phenomenal. And then, yeah, the input rate is 15 per minute. We've got 60 per minute on the belts. And then there, look at that, there's the ACUs. So, actually, technically, it's going to take a while. It's going to take the same amount of time for both parts to make 100, which means this one will be able to be shut down before the other one. And off they go. Beautiful. Okay. Next thing I want to do is actually the SAM fluctuators, not the real rubber. So that's already step 0. That's why I made it step 0 instead of step 1. The next thing I want to do is the SAM fluctuators and crystal oscillators and get the SAM and the quartz processing. That way the trains aren't running for literally no reason. So that's modular engines and ECUs done. SAM fluctuators require a whole bunch of stuff. Mainly the SAM is right here, going to reanimated SAM. And then also one foundry for steel pipes that is overclocked. So I'll go on ahead and grab the one foundry here. And then overclock this for the molded steel pipes. And yeah, I could do 2, but like I don't really care about doing 2 right now. It's not that big of a deal to just have 1 happening. And I guess we're gonna need concrete. So we're actually gonna need to take both of these belts up a little bit. Just to make sure that they are actually cooperating here with the concrete. And same thing happens there with that. And that's kind of another thing that I can talk about that we're gonna have to do at some point in the near future. We are running out of copper. This is pretty much gonna use up all of the copper that we've already got. So I'm gonna need more copper, like, extremely shortly. Which is so great. Super convenient. Absolutely love it. And I guess the other thing that I did, which isn't really that important, but I'll go on ahead and mention it now in passing, is down here. You'll be able to see it. Here it is. I doubled up the Caterium, and I overclocked the node. Instead of going and getting another node and worrying about the logistics of it all, I literally just popped another node in. Or I popped some power shards into the one that we already had in order to make that a little bit easier on us here. Or easier on me, I suppose. Then that's going to intersect with the iron belt, so we want to go... We'll stick to the 4-click rule. That's been working fine. And this is 60 steel, and a little bit less on the concrete side of things. So that takes care of that. And now the last thing that we need is 100 wire. So now we get to use my new constructor blueprint. So with all of that right there, it's the output, there's the input. Actually gonna bring this over a little bit to conserve space, because the output here can kind of like weave a little bit. And to save space, I would rather do that. Let me make sure that these are centered their foundations. Sure looks like it is. And there goes all of that. And then that is actually a copper requirement. So that takes the copper. And I only need 4 constructors for this. So I'm gonna get rid of this entire half of the blueprint and rework some things a little. Just because it's a little bit over-designed. And over-designing is a really good thing most of the time. Other times, not so much. So from here, this can join... I guess I can go that way, sure. And then what's it gonna be? I actually forget the out. 100 wires, so technically these can be markers. And then these can be markers. It's not really that important, but aesthetically I think it's gonna look nice. And then you're just a little bit too intense for all of that. Put this here, put it there. I guess not. Maybe instead we'll put it... Gonna land. Here and then there. And then that one will connect in to there. Cool. Good. That no longer needs to happen. This can go down a peg. And honestly, even that doesn't. That. Instead, it can happen like this. There we go. That works a lot better. Welcome, Supreme. Adjust my window size a little bit here. No, that's not what I wanted you to do. No, that's not what I wanted you to do. Stop. There we go, because I want to still be able to see what screen OBS is on, but also be able to read the entirety of chat and have my notes up. I need a third monitor at home. Which is something I never thought I would say. I need a third monitor at home. That's like crazy speak. So yeah, that is all of the copper wire, which leads us just in the two manufacturers. Which can go right there? Yeah, right there. Perfect. Nice. Great angel born accursed, denied my holy form, and now you mortals shatter my mask, break what little elegance I have. I will study every last behavior you show as I rend you to pieces. What's this? This wacky, wild, wonderful character. Could be a Mark II, but I'm gonna do that. The sun, the human-blooded, quote-unquote. Whoa. Somebody obviously had a bad time. And yeah, look at that. That can snake through just like that. Absolutely perfect. Which means Sam fluctuate. Copy. Paste. You. Connect to there. You connect to there. And then last but not least, you connect to there. And we can watch our Sam beautifully fill all of these machines. Oh shoot, I never connected the copper wire. Oops. Copper here. Oh, come on, what do you mean? There it is. Boom. But now we can watch the copper do its thing. When a divine beast born of divine blood of Theos is accursed with Oh boy. Copper becomes wire. And then wire, steel pipe, and reanimated Sam become fully automated. Also, why are there no space elevator parts in the space elevator yet? I simultaneously want to watch the first of those, but also... Oh, I never reconnected the elevators. Well, no duh. There. ACUs now connected. And modular engines now connected. Not like there were very many of each. But still. A necessary function. And there we have Sam. Very, 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 very nice. Okie dokie. That takes Sam fluctuators off of the list of things to do. And now, time for crystal oscillators. So crystal oscillators are gonna be tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of fun. Just gonna put that out there right now. So first things first, we need our constructor blueprint again. And we're gonna put that right there. Yeah, right there. Boom. And we want our splitter. Actually means that these guys are gonna have to get actually means all of them are getting moved just for simplicity of things. Also means I have a lot of spare shit in my inventory that I don't know. That'll take all of the copper. Like that. And that makes copper wire at 93%. Gives me 28. And yes, that is a weird number. Don't worry about it. Written in the sacred Theo text, human flesh is impure. That skin is to be shed as to ascend closer to Theos to open one's blood to its own. Imagine being a being born with human form. I guess, yeah, if that's what you're taught, that does in fact kind of suck. I will say that for sure. And then we also would like this to happen. Nudge exceeds max distance. Killing me, game. Oh, cool. I can just put those right up next to each other. That's actually pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie to you. And we're gonna do the same thing to this one that we did to that one. We're gonna cut it in half. So boom, 2. Because we don't need it. Or at least we don't need it in that big of a form. And I don't know where I want to merge you yet, so we'll figure that out. So that makes how much wire? 224 wire, and then this makes half of that cable. Something's wrong. Never mind, nothing's wrong. And then, yeah, that's a little too beefy. That's just beefy enough for you, though. So, copper makes wire, makes cable. Yay. Just as a fun side note, I intend to invert traditional wording by having Theos' core chamber located in the abyss, referred to as heaven, so it's a descent to heaven. That's a neat twist. So there's the cable part of crystal oscillators. Now we need iron plates and screws. So, actually, I'm gonna come in here for concrete. I know, that's a little weird. A little weird to be using the concrete. Here. Hit F. So. But it will all make sense. It will all make sense. Then yeah, with one of those there, the other one here, then grab a new blueprint, my assembler blueprint, and put the assembler blueprint right there. Perfect. Okay. So here I want the cast screw alternate at 80%. Gives me 40 times 3 is 120, times 2 is 240, so that's exactly what we want. Make sure I'm copying the right recipe. And if each of these does 40, Mark 1 belt's going to be just fine there. But we're going to do Mark 3 belt on the entire interior. And then that's just going to go straight into there. And then actually... No, never mind. We'll pass you through the side. Actually, yes, we will. We will pass you through this side. Right there. Perfect. And then as for you, you need to be iron plates at 100% clock speed. Because 20 times 3 is 60 times 2 is 120, which is exactly how many iron plates we need. And I did not check how many ingots this was. I did not check how many iron ingots we need. 120 divided by 20 times 30 is 100. Okay, so 180, and then 240 divided by 50 times 12.5 is 60. Okay, so that is a full belt of iron that is going to be coming here. Ouch. That's quite the expense. Quite the expense. Makes it easy to take off the bus, though. Want a neat wording to show just how fucked up and contorted the idea is from... Yeah, exactly. Literally polar opposite. Like, actually polar opposite. Which is definitely a neat series of ideas to play around with. I'll agree with you there. copper down. And a little farther past, but that's okay, because I can just pull it to here instead. And then have you come to a splitter here. I guess rather like that. And then let you go down to there. Perfect. And then 180 to here, and it is only a 60 belt. I checked, it is only a 60 belt, going into these machines. So that is allowed. Can't quite pass that through the way that I was expecting to. Alright, I can pass it through that. And then at the end, I can pass it like that. And then at the beginning here, I can pass it from the central power bus. Or rather, I guess what I can do is like this. And then I can pass it from central bus. I also am going to upgrade all of these, just in case. And then on the plates, it's 120 iron plates. But I think I will go on ahead and do that, kind of like I did here. Cool. Then it's just reinforced iron plates, the normal default recipe for plates in each of these. Perfection. And that only leaves 144 quartz crystals being made in 4 refineries, and then 8 manufacturers. Yes. So where would I like to build the refinery? So this is gonna go straight up. There is room here for the quartz to go past. So I think I will do the quartz coming this way. Just like this. So that's gonna go up and get out of the way, which means we can have our refinery stackable right facing here. Extra stream indeed, G-Man. Extra stream in. I have time, and I want to factory. I gotta get my itch. Actually, looking at how that's gonna go, I want this to be the refinery stackable left-facing instead. Then do that. Sadly, I can't watch tonight. No worries. You've got other stuff going on. Go do other stuff. Never offended. And then, lucky for us, we need no pipes here. But we do need pipes on the input, so we need pure crystal, which gives less than 60 output, so that's great. Later, G-Man. Have a great night. Thanks for stopping by, even though you can't watch the rest. And then in the back here, we want this to change. Then we want that to be like that, and that to be like that. And how many crystals in? 185, which is just enough for a Mark III belt to take of. Perfect. And how much water will this be taking? Not much. Not much at all. So I can have the water come up the side here. Like this. I can have it come the entirety of the way across. Grab the support and do the wall hole. Put it in the wall hole. And then we'll bring it up a little bit further, right? Theos infected have two main types and an extra one that's just kind of there. The first are followers, being mutated by the infectious blood of Theos itself. These are the zombies and the cultists. Actually, I think I'd rather have it here instead. Yeah, instead of there, I'd rather have it. That way it just lines straight up. It also makes life a little easier on the ends here. They're actually more intelligent than the normal infected. At bare minimum, enough of their brain is left intact to understand the idea of a god and worship. That's kind of neat. 1, 2, 4, 5. The infection takes over people by driving them insane. Sounds like fun to me. Theos Insected says, oh wow, that comes the whole way up here. Okay, sure. Oh, we'll take that. We'll absolutely take that. Makes life way easier. It says, fuck you, and just uses biological brute force. Ooh. To trim away your brain and just keep what benefits it. Holy shit. Alright. Okay, and now comes the big part. 4 refineries, 12 total constructors for cable, 12 and 4 assemblers for reinforced iron plates, which, in all honesty, that's not a lot, and it's pretty cheap. But then we need 8 manufacturers. And that is where the expense of this stuff comes into play, is the fact that we need 8 of these guys. Benji Thursday stream, unheard of? Not unheard of, just unlikely. Not unheard of, just unlikely. In fact, in all honesty, if there's gonna be any day during the week that I stream that's like not my normal stream day, it would be today. So I need spaces. So that's not gonna work. However, if I take you to here, that'll work. Good. Is that equidistant? Sure is. Alright. Boom. Nice. That makes that easy peasy. Look at all those manufacturers. We're totally gonna crash my power grid soon. Get rid of the top one because we don't need it. There are exceptions, though. And that's where we get the priests and some odd lower follower cases where the brain is almost entirely preserved because the subject was already completely willing. Now that is intriguing. I would like to perfect split this if I can. So, if I remember correctly, I'll go on ahead and set the recipe as well. It is, with the exception of the quartz crystals, it is all less than 60. Well, I guess technically. Whatever. I don't feel like it, so you get a Mark III. 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 And over here, same diff. You get a Mark III. 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 Very nice. And then last but not least, you all get Mark IIIs. And then over here, that guy just comes straight over top. You also just come straight over top. And then you come down a bit first, then come straight over. So you here get to come the whole way out to, I guess, right here. And what's the height that I need? That? Aha. I'm genius. Oh gosh. No. Huh. That's fine. We'll just do that instead. Then I don't need you anymore. Anyways, just wanted to stop by. Not going to stay long because I have some other stuff I want to do today. No worries whatsoever. Quick question, though, before you go. Would it be helpful if I were to give a heads up via a YouTube community post? Because I know some people are in the Discord, some people aren't in the Discord. I did post something about this in the Discord earlier today. Granted, it wasn't much earlier. It was like, I don't know, 1, 2 o'clock, something like that. So I know it was short notice. But if it would be helpful, I am more than willing to put YouTube community posts up, mentioning that, you know, streams are going to be happening. Expected. Conveyor belt is just barely instead. Great. And then the only other thing, actually, I probably don't even have to do that. Because the only other thing that has to happen here is a smart splitter. There. Which does any out the front, overflow to the left. Boom. And then the rest of the quartz crystals will go that way and go to the storage system. Now the final thing to figure out here is the power. I like the look of that. That looks like power lines. And last but not least, take it the whole way over there. Perfect. Don't get noticed, so don't think it'll make much of a difference. Someone would benefit from it, though. Fair. I guess I'll start doing that, then. That works for me. Then, perfect. Purging. And do this. That way it can go up and not get screwed by anything else. And then, yeah, Mark 1, because we're only making 8 per minute. I know, 8 manufacturers is a lot for a throughput of 8 final product. And that is the final connection made. Which takes care of everything. There it is. Yeah, priests are like the standard Theos infected, but wearing organic robes to signify their higher place, along with some extra mutation, usually to the arms, and they have blood magic bullshit. Let's go. Priest form of blood form, the blood magic bullshit, is a far weaker form, but they usually do is fire blood projectiles, orbs of flesh condensed to normally physically impossible levels. These orbs explode upon contact with the surface, usually the floor. Yeah, causing great damage. Holy shit, rate became pixeled? Not again. Ah, shit. No, it's still fucked. I hate my... Are we good? We should be good. YouTube is not receiving enough. I just restarted it. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Do I really have to go for a full restart here? I sure hope I don't have to go for a full reset, but I might have to go for a full reset. I don't even know if you all can hear me saying that. My download speed is shittier than it usually is, but terrible.